Hi, good morning. Welcome to our mini pathway webinar this morning. My name is Jennifer Bento-Pinion. I am the program manager for Pathway here at MEFA on the college planning team. Again, welcome and thank you for your time this morning. Probably take about 15 minutes to go through and talk about how to search for colleges and build a college list in MEFA Pathway. Just if you're not familiar with MEFA Pathway is a complete college and career planning resource for students, counselors, education policymakers across the Commonwealth, and is offered to all middle and high schools in Massachusetts free of cost by the Massachusetts Educational Financing Authority. MEFA Pathway plays a key role in the Commonwealth's efforts around college and career readiness and success by increasing access to information about higher education and career opportunities for all types of students. MEFA Pathway provides access to academic and professional success to learners in grades 6 through 12 across the Commonwealth by setting each student on a path to college and career success. So rather than a one-size-fits-all approach to future planning, MEFA Pathway is tailored to meet the needs of the Commonwealth's diverse student and workforce populations by offering comprehensive tools all in one easily accessible website. So here we have on our screen the homepage to MEFA Pathway. So our website is mefapathway.org. And then when you're a student, you would access this page and click on I'm a student. And if you're a first-time user, you would click register here and go through the steps to register your account. So again, all students across the state have access to this website. You just merely register an account. If the student is part of one of our affiliated schools, that means that the school is uploading this SIMS data file, so it creates a secure community for that school. So then the educator, whether you're a counselor or a teacher or maybe you're out of a community-based organization, you have access to that particular secure community and can look to see what the student's working on within the site and help them along that path of choosing courses, helping them research and discover different careers that they may be interested in. All right, so I'm going to log into our student test account here and show you how a student searches for colleges. So this is kind of the main page. When the student logs in for the first time, they're brought to their profile page. And then when they log in subsequently, it will bring them to their dashboard and show them what their next steps are. But I'm going to show you the college piece here. So we just click on search for colleges. And then we have our overview. Most of our pages have an overview and information on that's different resources. So at the bottom here, we have an area of major concern, scholarships. This will bring you to the scholarship search tool within the site. And so we have two different ways the student can search for colleges. We have the Match Me, which brings them along different pages where they select, for example, where do you want to be? I want to look at schools in the Southwest and the Northeast. So it checks off what the student selects, and then they go on to the next page. So they go on to subsequent pages, and at the end, it will bring them to a list of schools that meet that criteria that they've put in. I would like to show you the main college search page because there are many different ways, different pieces of criteria that the student can put in order to generate a list of colleges that they may want to look at. So as you can see here, we have just over 7,000 undergraduate schools and programs that are accessible within the site. So all the information that we have on the schools comes from Peterson's. Peterson's is refreshed yearly. So what happens with Peterson's is all the schools send their updated information to Peterson's, and then in turn, we get that information. So we do have some schools in the site that have not updated their information. So that's just on the school. If the school hasn't sent that updated information to Peterson's, then we have, the information that we have in the site may be a little bit off. So we do have the student here. If they want to just plug in, they can search for a particular school if they like. I'm going to pop in Keene, and we'll come up with, we have Keene Beauty Academy or Keene State College. So a student can, if they have a particular school in mind, they can just type it right into that search bar. If they're looking for a particular area of study, so for example, maybe they're, let's type in business. They can pop in business. So, and then we can pop in a just general, here we go. So we're based just on that one piece of criteria, we're down to 652 schools. And now we can say, all right, we want to look at maybe business schools in Massachusetts, or we could put a particular region in. Maybe we want to look at all of the schools in the Northeast. So let's plug that in. So now we're down to 139 schools. We can select a degree type. Maybe the student is looking for a particular school size or setting. So let's maybe put suburban, and let's also put in small town. So that will give us 83 schools. All right, so our criteria here is business. We're looking in the Northeast, suburban, small town, and we have 83 schools. So now we can say, all right, let's look down this list here and look at what we have. And all right, let's look at Bucknell. We're going to click on Bucknell, and we're going to get a lot of information about Bucknell. So general information is on the top here. As you can see, it's a private school in a small town setting that meets that criteria. It gives us that tuition, total students, student ratio, the application date, very important, acceptance rate, and you can see that this school is, the admissions is pretty difficult. So the student can look to see, if this is a reach or a target school for them based on this information. And then we can scroll down here and you can see we have the majors and degrees that are offered at this school, admissions information, tuition and fees. Just keep on scrolling down to show you this information on campus life, athletics, faculty. And then when we get to the very bottom, we have the contact information. Here's a direct link to the school's website and to where the student can directly apply. So then if the student would like to save this school to start building out their college list, they just click save, and then that school will be on the student's college list. So we're going to go back to the search results just to show you. The student can go back and again look at this list, see if there are schools that they want to look at further. And I'll show you what the college list looks like. So once they start adding schools to that college list, they're here, and then they can favorite schools. So when a student favorites a school, it's added to their favorites list here, and then it appears on their digital portfolio. So the schools that are favorited are on this digital portfolio. And this is a great page here. The student can print this out. So this is kind of a repository of all of the great things the student's working on the site. We have information that comes from the student's resume or their profile. They're adding sports, clubs, activities into that profile, which feeds into a resume. Their different interests. So it's just a great way for the student to come back and see, what they're working on. This is their careers that they've added, that they've favorited, careers of interest. All right, so let's go back to the college piece here. So we have that, the students first they're searching for schools, they're developing a college list. So maybe they have a very long college list, grade 9 and 10. They're just in that phase of exploring and discovering schools that they may be interested in. But as they get into their junior year, and especially end of junior year, beginning of senior year, they are really narrowing that list down to schools that they're going to apply to. So to make that process a little bit easier, we have this College Compare tool, which is a really, really great resource for students to help them suss out where their list of target reach and safety schools and what that looks like in comparison to, their academic standing, their classes that they've taken, their test scores, and so on. So the student can either select colleges right from their list, or they can browse, or they can search by a college name. We always keep I like to keep all of this criteria checked off, because you want to show all of this criteria in the comparison. And they can also set preferences. So that's important for them to do, because I'll just click this here, because this is how they can compare those schools to their particular criteria here. So let's just look at, we're looking at, let's see, schools that have less than 7,000 students. So they go through here, they check off the criteria that's important to them, and then they save it. And I have a comparison that's saved here that I'll show you. So they can save, as many comparisons as they like, and come back to look at those comparisons again. So this is the schools that I chose to look at, or across the top here. We have 5 schools. You can just choose 5 schools at one time. And then the criteria that we're looking at goes down the left. And then if the box is shaded in red, it means that it's not quite a match. So as you can see here, for example, these are my preferences. I had set preferences from 7,000 to 14,000 students, and this comes a little short of 7,000 students. So not quite a match. May not be a deal breaker for the student, but it might be. As you can see here, we have the GPA. So the student's GPA is between 3.0 and a 3.5. And we're seeing that both of these schools here look at GPAs that are a little bit higher. So might be more of a reach school than a target school. So again, you can see all of this information side by side, which is really great. And it helps the student make their final decision of where they want to apply to. All right. And then also housed under this colleges tab here is information on our information on the standardized tests. So we have, for example, this will bring us to the external website of the College Board if we were to click on Practice the SAT. So just some great information for the student to have just right at their fingertips. All right, so that about wraps up our mini webinar looking at our college search and building that college list and the College Compare. I thank you for joining today. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. My email address is jbento@mefa.org. That's JBENTO at MEFA.org. Be happy to answer any questions that you may have, or if you are part of the school system that would like to start using MEFA Pathway, certainly get in touch. All right, have a great day. Thank you.